The SEC and Ripple are still suing one another over audits. The quantity of XRP holders keeps growing. Recent court documents show that Ripple, XRP, and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, are still embroiled in a legal battle. The lawsuit is still pending, even though Ripple received temporary relief from a ruling last year. Ripple responds to the SEC's strong lawsuit, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Ripple have been in close communication in recent days. Since the SEC filed the action in late 2020, the CC has requested a court order earlier this year requiring Ripple to reveal its financial records for 2022 and 2023, as well as institutional sales contract. In response, Ripple stated that since it did not dispute its capacity to pay fines, the discovery period had ended in August 2021 and that its actions and financial situation were unimportant. CSE argued on January 23 that a thorough review of these contracts was necessary to determine if Ripple's intended sales of XRP were compliant with the court's summary judgment ruling. However, Ripple included a motion to file a sure reply and a response that was submitted on January 24. It rejected the SEC's request, calling it unduly onerous. Furthermore, Ripple challenged the CC's claim that it had produced and documented every XRP sales contract, claiming that no contracts after December 22, 2020 were included in the ongoing class action lawsuit. Ripple enters the oversold area. The last few days have seen a recent downturn in XRP's daily period chart. It was selling at roughly 5 cents at the time of writing, indicating a drop of roughly 1.8 over the previous day. Its relative strength index is now below the neutral line as a result of this downward movement. The RSI is currently just below 30. This shows that there is a clear bearish trend and that XRP is currently in the oversold area. Trend for Ripple XRP says TradingView every day new XRP holders surface. A consistent trend was observed when the total number of Ripple XRP holders on Sentiment was analyzed. Over 5 million holders were in total at the time of this analysis. How much is 110,100 worth of XRPs right now? Notably, there hasn't been a significant decrease in the number of holders, even though there hasn't been significant growth either. This shows that despite the asset's present difficulties, a steady number of holders are drawn to and retained by it, indicating continued interest in and involvement in XRP. In the ongoing legal battle between the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States and Ripple Labs, the latter has filed a move to correct what Ripple considers to be a serious misrepresentation of the truth in the SEC's reply letter. The American fintech startup claimed just last week that the commission had ample opportunity to require any material it deemed suitable and that the SEC's request to analyze further financial data was unjustified. The viewpoint of Ripple Labs regarding the conflict regarding XRP sales contracts, the CC's demand for audited financial accounts, and the submission of contracts about Ripple's XRP sales is at the center of the legal dispute. In response to the SEC's claims, Ripple has maintained that it rejected the request because it was overly burdensome. In September 2023, Ripple raised a similar objection, arguing that the case lacked the exceptional circumstances required for interlocutory appeal. In particular, Ripple points out that there are no contracts in the ongoing class action lawsuit that date after December 22, 2020, refuting the CC's assertion that all XRP sales contracts have been compiled and published. Ripple contends that these contracts are essential for evaluating possible infractions by Ripple in the future, in line with the court's decision for summary judgment. A thorough analysis of the CC's stance and regulatory goals, on the other hand. The CC contends that to ascertain if Ripple's proposed XRP sales are compliant with the law, a comprehensive review of post-complaint institutional sales contracts is required. Furthermore, the SEC disputes Ripple's assertions that its financial situation has no bearing on prospective fines, noting prior case law that takes a defendant's wealth into account when determining deterrent penalties. Despite Ripple's protests, the SEC highlights the legality of the discovery requests and their high importance, stating that it is entitled to specific information regarding Ripple's financial standing and institutional sales contracts after the complaint is filed as part of the ongoing legal process. Legal consequences and possible results beyond the immediate drama of the courtroom. Ripple's fight with the SEC has legal ramifications beyond the disclosure of XRP sales contracts and the significance of Ripple's financial situation. The result of this legal dispute has the potential to drastically alter the regulatory environment about digital assets and establish guidelines for similar instances in the future. Notably, Ripple has prevailed in multiple rounds of the SEC litigation over the past year, including rulings that denied the SEC's request for an interlocutory appeal. As a result of both sides' strong grasp on their views, it is unclear where this high-stakes legal drama will end, and spectators and stakeholders are anxious to see what happens next. Significant news from the US XRP has gained a lot of traction. However, it feels like it was hidden from view for a long time while you were engrossed in your devices. Worrying about your XRP investments and considering whether to sell a historic event has just happened that could change the game for XRP's value. We'll also investigate why you don't sell XRP for less than $10,000. Keep checking back to find out what transpired, how it affects the price of XRP, and whether or not this is our path to financial success. It's almost a given that Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple Labs, will attend the World Economic Forum in Davos. Last year, the company was a sponsor, but it's unclear if they played the same role this year. Brad Garlinghouse was present, possibly even in a significant capacity with the Y, though that's speculation. What's important is that he discussed in the interview a critical factor that could propel XRP and its adoption, especially in the US and the banking sector globally. This is precisely what Ripple and XRP want to transform. To be honest, like many skeptics, I didn't fully understand the circumstances. Therefore, I echoed criticism of XRP without doing a thorough analysis. Although working closely with governmental bodies isn't always perceived positively, it's clear that XRP's collaboration with banks and possibly governments, which was once viewed with skepticism, might just be the leverage needed to skyrocket its value. These are interesting times in the crypto world as Stellar landed a prestigious government contract, but XRP faces challenges mainly from the SEC. Our previous bull run was hampered by this battle with the government, which prevented us from reaching possible all-time highs. If these obstacles hadn't existed, we might now be at a 110 XRP. A shout out to Gary for that. As many of you are aware, we were able to successfully get the ETF approved. However, the true value of XRP has always been as an upgraded point of sale system for banking, where traditional banking software has lagged. Ripple's innovation is in modernizing this antiquated banking infrastructure, something that hasn't seen significant improvements in years due to the complexity involved. Ripple's ambition was clear from the beginning to facilitate cross-border transactions using XRP through a sophisticated point-of-sale system they developed, which would require banks all over the world to hold XRP, much like a global reserve currency for transactional purposes. Critics, however, identified a serious weakness in the early software versions of Ripple. These versions introduced xCurrent, xRapid, but the catch was that banks using them were not required to settle transactions in XRP. This was a major disadvantage because it lessened the requirement for XRP in the banking operations. The argument put forth by critics was that the token had little value if transactions and XRP weren't required, even though Ripple Labs was successful in achieving this. In response, Ripple made a strategic change, introducing two new products, Ripple and OL on-demand liquidity. These products combine the features of the previous three, but there was a key difference. Settlements had to be made in XRP, which meant that any institution utilizing these services had to purchase XRP, thereby establishing the token's true value and utility in the banking industry.